So everybody's been asking me for these videos about the chatterbait. As you can see, I have all these chatterbaits that are sitting out in front of me. Not chatterbaits. They are bladed jigs. So everybody's been asking me about the different kinds of them, how I fish with them, the different things that you can do. So I'm going to do a video for you all on all these. These are all different. These are all different. You have this here is the new, what I like to use now is, and we're outside, so if cars go by, I apologize. This is called the XPS CHATTERBOMB. These are excellent baits right here. So this is an XPS Pro CHATTERBOMB right there. Then you have a Z-Man chatterbait, JACKHAMMER. Right here. And then we move over here to BERKLEY Chatter or SLOBBERKNOCKER, the BERKLEY SLOBBERKNOCKER. And then of course you have GOOGAN's clickbait right here, GOOGAN's clickbait. And I'll take a picture of all these and put them down in the bottom. Then you have Strike King's Thunder Cricket right here. Strike King Thunder Cricket. Then you have Z-Man's Stealth Blade. Clear plastic blade on the front, jackhammer style. And then the original chatterbait. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is the difference between an original chatterbait and a jackhammer right there. These little clippies on the front. And the fact that this head sits right next to the blade, so when it wobbles, it does this clickety sound. These are a little farther away from it. So, and then you have this here, which is new to me, and I love them. These are Rock Creek Bait Company's Bambi blades. Rock Creek Bait Company Bambi blade right there. And again, I'll take a picture of all of these so that you guys can see them up close, and the differences that they have. Now, what I like to use are the jackhammer, original jackhammers. I love to use the original jackhammers. They just thump so nice. They thump so good. And I like to use the Thunder Cricket. The Thunder Cricket is a very subtle vibration. It's kind of just below the chatterbait, the thump that you get out of it. Like the original chatterbait, it doesn't thump as hard as, say, the jackhammer or the Thunder Cricket, But in those subtle situations when you have pressured fish, these are excellent for that because they don't thump as hard. They're not as aggravating when they come through the water. So these are pretty good. The only things that I don't like about these, which is the original chatterbait, is this bait keeper that they put on here. It's made out of lead. It's real gaudy. When you put your trailers on there, and we'll get into trailers here in a minute, when you put your trailers on there, it just tears them up as they go on, which is not what you want. It's not what you want. So that's one of the faults of this, is the skirt, which I like the fact that these are replaceable skirts, but getting them on and off of there usually tears them up. So, you know, that's another thing I don't like about them. Now the jackhammer itself, the Z-Man jackhammer, that is my bad, Z-Man jackhammer, that is tied on there, wired on. The skirts are wired, so they don't come off very easy. Another thing about the original, or the jackhammer, is they have this they have these two hooks. I don't know if you can see them right here. They have these two hooks right here that hold your bait on there. Now when you go to replace your bait, of course it's going to rip it up. It's not going to be any good for anything anymore at all. But these keep your trailers on real nice. They don't make big old holes in them when they go in. They set real nice and they stay on there for a long time. So that's the jackhammer right there. So those are pretty nice. A lot of the baits that you see down here, like the SLOBBERKNOCKER, it also has this gaudy old, I don't even know what they're lead. You know, they hold your bait on there, but they make a big old hole in your bait. So once you put your trailer on there, it's already going to be loose because of how this is set up. So that's just horrible, I think, but to each their own. If you like the SLOBBERKNOCKER, I'm not knocking them. I use them on occasion. I'll be throwing them out there. Clickbait, of course, it also has the same thing, but they went ahead and stuck a wired one on there. So if you want to correct that, just cut that lead one off on the back and just use that on your clickbaits. So that's the baits that I throw. I always throw the jackhammer. That's what this is right here, the original jackhammer. They're one of my favorite baits to throw because of how hard they hit. And then I switched over here recently to these Rock Creek Bait Company Bambi blades. Now, this is ring. It's got a snap ring or slip ring or whatever you call these little rings that are on the front of here, right here. A split ring, whatever. So it's not up close to the head, but man, these Bambi blades, they just thump. If you don't know what these are, they're from Rock Creek Bait Company. I'll put their description or their link down in the bottom. Rock Creek Bait Company, he hand ties these hair jigs, and he has these blades that he gets and puts on here, and man, I'm telling you, these things, look at that, these things just thump real nice, real nice. These are the CHATTERBOMB. They thump in between the jackhammer, the Thunder Cricket. So, but these are real nice too. But these Bambi blades, man, if you don't, go try these out. If you're a chatterbait thrower or a bladed jig thrower, go over to Rock Creek Bait Company. Order you one of these, a couple of these from them. They're cheaper than most of these anyway. So go order you a couple of these and throw them, and let me know how you like them. My trial with these, so to say, I went out and I tried them out, and I loved it. I caught a fish on the like third cast that I threw it out there, and I've been catching them ever since. But they don't like grass too much, but that's okay. I mean, that's what a chatterbait's all about, is you throw it out in the grass and you rip it out, and it's supposed to mimic a bait fish coming out of the grass. But go try these out. Rock Creek Bait Company, and we'll put their description in the bottom. Those are pretty nice too. So there's a lot of things that you can do with these baits. You can throw them out, you can get them stuck in the grass, you can pop them out of the grass, you can take them right over the top of the grass, and as it hits it, it darts off side to side, goes through the grass. You can throw it out there where there's no grass, and you can pop it up off the bottom, and it makes that rattling sound as it comes up off the bottom. You can also just throw it out and straight retrieve it back with a little pump every now and again. There's so many variations that you can do with this, and the trailer has an effect on that too. So here we have a bunch of trailers. This is from Gambler. It's just a paddle-tailed trailer. I like to put these on, and when I put these on, I put them on upside down. And if you don't understand what upside down means, so you take your hook and you have it facing out. You take your paddle and you have it facing in. See, the paddle tail's facing it. Now when you put that on there, it's gonna be upside down because the bait comes back this way. So what that does is that puts this tail behind it, and it'll just sit back there and swim back and forth. Now that mimics a bait fish more, I think, than if you had it up the right way, bringing it back, and then this paddle is actually doing what it's made to do, which is back here just flapping all over the place. I don't see that I've had them both ways, and I catch more fish when they're upside down. Plus it doesn't mess with the bait. Now if you have this back here catching the water and you're trying to get this thing to rattle through the water, it's usually going to mess it up, because this is going to want to try to do what it's supposed to do, and so is this. So it makes it all messed up, and you'll feel it when you're reeling it back. You'll throw it out there, you'll start reeling it, you'll feel that brrr as it goes, and then all of a sudden it'll stop, and then it'll start again. Well, that's that tail messing with it. That's that tail messing with the action of the bait. When you turn it upside down and put it on there, then this tail is just back there waving back and forth, and it actually looks like a fish swimming through the water. So try that out on your next adventure out with paddle tail. Now there's a lot of variations of paddle tails. You can put a whirly tail on there. What do they call these? Curly tail. You can put a curly tail on there. Here's another paddle tail style that I use. These are from this is a Bio Swimmer, I think is what they're called, Bio Swimmer. And then you have your Bio Bug. Now these are going into the craws. Now this is what I really want to talk about, is on these right here. So you can put a craw on a jackhammer, and you can put it on with with it swimming through the water, and when it comes off the bottom. Now when you're fishing with the craw, say this craw right here, you have this crawdad on there on the back of your thing. It's kind of like a jig. You know how you throw your jig out and you pop it off the bottom, and it's supposed to look like a crawfish swimming away from the bass? Well, that's the same thing with these, except for you get that vibration when you pop this off the bottom with the craw on it. Another thing that I like to do with the craws, or the bio craws, which is this, is if you're turning them sideways so that they look like that on the bait, it looks like a bluegill swimming through the water. These will sit back here and they'll flap back and forth. Now if you look at that bait, that looks like a bluegill when you're swimming it through the water, just like that. So I like to do that. I like to put them on there sideways, especially when they have the big ones like this. The bass are out there looking for something big to eat, put them on there sideways like that. Those are pretty nice. Now you got your Bama bugs right here, or your Bama craws. Put those on there on the back side, just like a craw coming through the water. Now you can do that on all of these baits, so you can pick and choose. You can see I have every one of them. But the chatterbait to me is just a versatile bait. You can throw it out there, you can use it as a jig, drag it across the bottom and pop it every now and again. You can throw it out there like a rattle trap and just bring it straight back and vary it, your retrieve every now and again. You can do that. You can throw it out there, get it stuck in the grass and pop it out. You can let this dive all the way to the bottom and fish around in there just like a crankbait, except for this is a whole lot slower, and down there's so many variations that you can do with these chatterbaits. Now I'm not an expert, certainly not a professional fisherman or anything like that. I just think that everybody wants to know how I catch fish on these baits, and that's basically it. I throw it out there. If there's grass, I let it sit on top of the grass. I'll pop it out. Sometimes I'll just run it across the grass. I'll get it down in the grass and I'll bring it back. Now a lot of the times with these baits, the grass will get stuck on them, but they still work. Don't let the grass interfere with you fishing or thinking that you can't throw these in grass. That's what they're made for. That's what they're made for. They're made to go through the grass. And if it gets stuck on the hook, yeah, the bass, some of the bass are going to look at it and go, "Ugh, I don't know about that." But a lot of the times the bass don't care about that. They just want that bait. They hear it coming and they want it. So don't let grass interfere with you throwing one of these in the grass. These as well, I have not figured them out yet to throw them in the grass and be confident with them yet, but these Bambi blades from Rock Creek Bait Company are an amazing thing. Now if you find some grass and you can throw it next to it and get down beside it, sometimes you can get it in and it'll be okay. The slimy grass, I hate that stuff. It doesn't work real well. But these baits right here are amazing. You can see the difference in that from where the blade comes off on that split ring to the head of the bait. And then if you compare that to, say, this CHATTERBOMB, and that's what makes these baits click, is this coming across and hitting that lead head, making that chatter in the water. This don't hit the head and it still thumps just like that one. I don't understand it. It is an amazing bait. Rock Creek Bait Company has got a real good deal right here. I'm telling you, go over there, check them out. Check out Rock Creek Bait Company. Go to Natural State Fishing, who is Matt, who makes these baits. You can see him tie these on live. These are just amazing. If you haven't seen these yet, go check them out. Rock Creek Bait Company. Try yourself a chatterbait. If you don't know about them, go try one. Did with it, but the jackhammer right here is $19.99. You can find them on sale, $17.99 sometimes. But these are what I throw. But go out and don't just go out and buy these jackhammers. Go out and try yourself out with one of the other ones first before you go out and snap your line off and are upset because you just lost 20 bucks because your line snapped. But that's my take on jackhammer, on chatterbaits, or bladed jigs, however you want to say it. They're just a versatile bait that you can throw in any condition. They work all year round. To me, it's a no-brainer when you go out and you're fishing to take one of these with you. Everybody gives me a hard time because I only use a chatterbait. Most of the time you'll see me out there fishing and I'm just throwing a chatterbait, but they don't understand that I can make that chatterbait do the same thing you can make that crankbait do, and the same thing you can make that rattle trap do. But you have to change lures in order to do that. Not with one of these, you don't. You have it. It's right there. You can make this a jig. You can drag it across the bottom and make it just sit there and then move it just like a jig. Just like a jig. Then you can take it out there just like a popping bait you'd throw out there and you pop off the bottom. But this has a different rattle to it when you're doing it. So there's so many things that you can do with a chatterbait that just make those fish react. If you're throwing it out there and they're not reacting to you just straight retrieving it back, put some action into it. Throw it down on the bottom, pop it off the bottom, throw it over near the logs, get it next to it. Just try it out. These baits are amazing. I think you don't have to take so much stuff in your tackle box if you have one of these, because you already have your crankbait. You have your square bill. You can make it do the same thing. You have your jig. You have a rattle trap. It's just amazing what these things can do. Also, you can just take one of these after you use it for a while and the skirt gets looking all nasty, because they do. Them fish, after you catch these for a while, these fish will just start tearing these skirts up. Most of these that I have out here have new skirts and stuff on them. But you can take those skirts off of there and you can put it on there with the crawdad. Now, I'm not ruining any of these baits because they're all brand new and I don't want to put holes in them before I use them. You know how it is. You can put them on there that way and just pop it around like that. But don't think that because your skirt came off of one of these and that it's not any good anymore. Take it out and use it. You could probably even put, I've never tried it before, but you could probably even put a straight worm or a straight Cinco on here and drive that through the water with, just try it out. Try it out. Just because the skirt's gone doesn't mean the bait's dead. Just saying. There we go again. Look at that. And they're sharp, just letting you know. Just letting you know. They're super sharp. So try it out. Go check them out. I'll put all the descriptions of all these baits down at the bottom. Again, you got the Rock Creek Bait Company Bambi blade right here. It's amazing. Here's another one. They're a hair jig. He makes these on his YouTube channel. He ties them up right there while you're watching. And then you have the SLOBBERKNOCKER right here. The SLOBBERKNOCKER is a nose hook right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's nose through that blade. Those are pretty nice too. Then you got your GOOGAN Squad clickbait. That's what that is right there. You can move those little balls up to make your bait a little different in the water column. Then you got your Strike King Thunder Cricket right there. Strike King Thunder Cricket. Then you got the original, oh no, this is a jackhammer, Z-Man jackhammer right here, Z-Man jackhammer. Z-Man Stealth jackhammer with the clear blade on there. Original Z-Man chatterbait right here, original Z-Man chatterbait. And then you have another XPS CHATTERBOMB right here, the CHATTERBOMB. So go out and try them out. Try yourself some trailers. There's all kind of different ones that you can try on there, and I mean, they're amazing. They have their own little things. You see a little whirly tail running through the water right there. That's pretty awesome. That looks good on the back of a chatterbait. These crawdads, try them both ways. Try them regular and try them sideways. You'll be surprised at the action that you get out of these. These are the biospawn bugs right here. They're pretty nice when you put them on there sideways. They look just like a bluegill coming through the water, and they got some pretty nice action with them that way too. So check them out. That's my take on the chatterbait, or the bladed jig, however you want to say it. There's so many of them and so many variations to throw it, so go out and try it. If you have any questions, you can email me. My email is in my description. Or come to my live on Thursdays, 6:30. Every Thursday at 6:30, I have a live. You can ask me questions in there and find out more about the chatterbait or any other bait that I might throw. So thank you for your time. I hope this helps you out. And remember to go fishing and have fun, because you only get one time around. You better enjoy it.